Hi, this is Jeff Mesnick with Channel Marketing Journal, and I'm excited to be here today with Joe Sykora, who is the VP of Worldwide Channel Development at BitDefender. How you doing, Joe?
Good, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's 34 degrees in Boston, so we're nice and warm.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, just about the same here in California. A little bit warmer, but it's early. It's early.
Oh yeah, well, you'll at least warm up. Ours, this is for us. It's like I'm in a t-shirt and jeans out there, so this is great.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I wanted to basically give a chance for the world to meet Joe Sykora and share kind of
Okay.
who you are and kind of what you're doing over there at BitDefender. Maybe even tell us a little bit about BitDefender, if you don't mind.
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, thanks for having me. First of all,
You're welcome.
foremost. So BitDefender is it's a global leader in security. We provide all kind of different security solutions, anything from next generation endpoint to data center. So we're doing a lot in the virtualization space and very unique technologies. Probably the biggest thing we're known for is the effectiveness, right? So a lot of places have actually rated us close to 100%, if not 100%, with some of our machine learning. So
Wow.
Bitdefender itself has been around 16 years. So we're a well-established company, and we're making some efforts in the channels to improve things. So look forward to talking about that with you today.
Great. And your role in the channels is basically you're just gonna
Do it all.
do it
Do it.
all.
No, 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 absolutely not. So I do oversee the global channels and
Yep.
the channel development, which includes distribution. So whether it be in the U.S., EMEA, APAC, you name it, we've got teams all over to support our partners. The program is a great program, and we'll talk a little bit about those things in the future.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a solid organization, and looking forward to reaching out to everyone out there talking right now. But
Great.
yeah, so that's what I do.
Well, that's awesome. So it sounds like a great opportunity and some fun stuff to be had there.
Absolutely.
So, the key thing, and with you and I, we've known each other for many years now. And I've
Sure.
known that you've basically spent a lot of time trying to work with channel partners. You spend time visiting with channel partners, really engaging with them.
Hmm.
And, a lot of the channel marketers out there have yet to have that experience that you've had. And part of the challenge that they face is programs or things that the vendors want that might create some friction between the partners without recognizing it right off the bat. And maybe
Sure.
you can share some of your experiences or thoughts on what causes friction between partners and vendors.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, so first of all, I have been fortunate to see and live the channel for over 20 years now.
Right.
Um, so, probably the biggest thing I see, there's always friction. Let's talk about the field versus channel, right? Because there's always these sales. Most of us are putting together channel programs that are very solid, right? That benefit partners with deal registration programs, everything else. Probably the biggest friction point I see within that is the deals get bigger, 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 and there's that temptation to say, okay, well, um, maybe not let's take it direct, but let's negotiate, right? Margins and everything else. And what I see is the field sales leaders are starting to throw out, or they attempt to throw out things like deal registration and standard discounting and everything else. So that's a huge friction point, right? No matter where I've gone, no matter who I talk to, no matter what size, partners want to be protected, right? They want to see their margin to make sure that they're still able to make money, right? I mean, that's the whole idea, is to function and make money. The thing with on the marketing side, and this goes hand in hand even with the channel program, is over promising and under delivering. I know we want
Yep.
to always under promise and over deliver, but what I see is organizations spreading themselves too thin, either with marketing dollars or even resources, right? People themselves. So if you're out there designing your channel program, you want to make sure to do what you say you're going to do. That's important.
Yep.
I know anyone that knows me. I mean, pick up the phone and we'll talk about it, and we'll make sure it's done right. But that's where things start to go awry when you try to boil the whole ocean. You have to be very focused and make sure to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. That's the big thing there.
So, talking about delivering what you're going to deliver, we've found that sometimes there's also that opportunity where vendors want to deliver so much, but it's not really focused. So they basically
Right.
build out these huge portals and say, okay,
Absolutely.
go find your stuff. That's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have you experienced that at all?
Absolutely, yeah. So what I always find is there's never a lack of content, right? As far as stuff being produced, it
Right.
might not be the right content, or better yet, the communication of that to the partners just is always lost, right?
Right.
So back to the making it simpler for partners and easier to do business, and I know we'll probably talk about
Yep.
that in a little bit. That is key. And most of the time when I'm out there talking to partners, my favorite thing to do is tell me what's important to you, right?
Yep.
Number one is probably leads, right?
Yeah.
Leads and margin are always one and two.
Of
um,
course.
when it comes to partner portals and what we're putting in there and the time, effort, and everything else, just make sure that you're aligned with your channel. You'll be surprised, and you can do a quick survey, right? And you can find out what's important to them. But yeah, absolutely, it's most of these channel partners that are out there today, they're going 1,000 miles a minute, and they are wearing a lot of different hats, and they don't have the time. So whatever you present to them, make sure it's very relevant and make sure it's concise. I mean, anything, it's the old theory. If you write a couple paragraphs in an email, you might as well just pick up the phone and call them because they're not going to read it. So that's one thing that I'd probably at least throw out there for anyone that's designing their channel program or taking a look at it like first time or looking to revive something. It's just make it as simple as possible for that partner because they've got a lot of stuff going on.
So that's the perfect segue to the fact is, so when you're building your channel, maybe
Mm-hmm.
there's so that seems to be one of the things that you do to kind of release the
Sure.
friction and make it easier for the partners to work with you. What else do you really consider when it says, okay, I need to make it easier for them to work with me so that they all want to work with me?
Right. Well, ease of doing business is huge, and I have the unique advantage because I've been on both sides. Right.
Right.
I was a partner for many years, and then I made the switch over to the manufacturer and vendor side. So a lot of times it seems to be a lot of common sense or just okay, well of course we should do that to me, but a lot of programs out there aren't doing it right. So you can't design these things in a bubble. As far as ease of doing business, it's just that it's getting the concise messages to your partners quickly and more conveniently. So as the market has changed, I mean, we used to do email, right? We used to always send out newsletters, and currently we still offer that because some people are a little bit old school. But now it's shifted a lot to video, right? So we do a lot of this type of stuff where it is kind of impromptu. With technology today, you can actually use those resources, and you can do things like maybe not a podcast per se, but just a live type thing, and you can use social media and a lot of different avenues to do that. So those are all things that we've done here and continue
Yep.
to increase. The other thing too to increase, I guess I'm still a little bit old school where I really believe in relationships, right?
Yep.
And call me crazy, but
No.
relationships are key. So adding resources both on marketing, channel resources, and getting those people in the field to meet face to face, or even myself. You'll find I'm in typically 3 cities a week meeting with partners, and it's truly a partnership, right? So finding ways to learn about their businesses because they are unique, and finding ways for them to maybe make a little more profit and/or being able to say, okay, well, have you looked at service revenues, or have you looked at making more operational efficiencies? Those are the type of things. Improving their business is important to us. So
Yep.
you're not going to do that over the phone. We can do things over video, but the face-to-face relationships are still more important today as ever, and that goes across the globe, right? That's important across the globe.
Right. See, I know that a lot of companies might say, well, it's hard to scale that face-to-face meeting, but it also
Sure.
is the challenge, though, is that everyone I've talked to, people who are successful like yourself. So I've talked to a few heads of channels who have been successful everywhere they go, and they have the one thing that they do, which is what you've done, which is
Yeah.
spend the time with the partners, even though it's hard to scale, but spending that invested time seems to go the farthest to make life better for both.
No, absolutely. And one of the things that I can recommend is, and again, we all go to trade shows, right?
Right.
So there's always these trade shows we go to and organizations, and make the most out of that time. I spend a lot lot of time rather than, okay, I get it. I can't travel the entire globe in a week, but
Right.
if I find a conference that I have, you know, a bunch of key partners there, I'm going to set up one-on-one meetings and we're going to sit down and we're going to spend some time together. Really get, you know, smart business, right?
Yeah.
Use your time wisely and again, but yeah, nothing beats the you got to get out there. Like you said, it's hard to do. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of travel, but you definitely have to. It pays off in the end. It really does. It really does.
So that sounds great. Well, I really appreciate the time. It's been fabulous. I've always had fun talking with you. I can imagine the
You
partners.
too, Jeff. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I imagine the partners always enjoy a good time with Joe. So
Yes, of course. Well, I'm just happy you caught me in the office today.
yeah.
It's been a while, so yeah. Usually I'm on the road, so it's great that we were able to set up this today and get this done.
All right. Well, great. Well, thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of your travels, and
Absolutely.
look forward to catching up. Maybe we'll do another one of these in the near future to hear how your meetings have gone and see if you could share any insight that you got.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff. You take care and have a great day,
All right.
okay?
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.